The Story of Jack Ma. Chapter 1. Humble Beginnings. The Boy from Hangzhou. In the quiet city of Hangzhou, nestled near the serene waters of West Lake, a boy named Ma Young, later known to the world as Jack Ma, grew up in modest circumstances. Born in 1964 in communist China, Jack's childhood unfolded in a nation grappling with the aftermath of the Cultural Revolution. His family had little, and luxuries were unheard of. Yet, young Jack possessed a curiosity that refused to be stifled. School was not easy for him. He struggled with math and failed the National University entrance exams not once, but twice. While many would have given up, Jack saw failure as part of the journey. During these years, he discovered an unusual passion: learning English. With no formal resources, Jack rode his bicycle for 40 minutes each day to the Hangzhou Hotel, where he offered free tour guide services to foreign visitors. In return, they taught him English. This daily routine continued for 9 years, shaping not only his language skills but his worldview. Through these interactions, Jack began to see a world beyond China, a world of ideas, commerce, and possibilities. This broadening perspective would become the foundation of his future ambitions. Chapter 2. Resilience and Rejection. The Early Struggles. Jack Ma's path was anything but smooth. After finally passing the university entrance exams on his third attempt, he studied English at Hangzhou Normal University. Upon graduation, he began working as an English teacher, earning a mere $12 a month. Though the pay was low, the job gave him confidence in communication and a taste for leadership. Still, Jack yearned for more. He applied for dozens of jobs and was rejected from all of them, including famously KFC, where out of 24 applicants, he was the only one turned away. Even the local police force turned him down. Each rejection, rather than discouraging him, only hardened his resolve. In the mid-1990s, Jack took his first leap into entrepreneurship with a company called China Yellow Pages. It was among China's earliest attempts to introduce businesses to the internet. But the idea was ahead of its time, and the venture failed. Investors were skeptical, and the digital infrastructure simply wasn't ready. Though it did not succeed, the experience planted the seeds for a bolder vision. Jack Ma had tasted failure, but he had also glimpsed the future, and he wasn't about to give up. Chapter 3. The Internet Epiphany. A Trip to America. In 1995, Jack Ma boarded a plane to the United States on a translation assignment, a trip that would change his life forever. While in Seattle, a friend introduced him to a strange, glowing screen connected to something called the Internet. Jack was instantly curious. He typed a single word into the search bar: China. To his astonishment, nothing came up, not a single result about his country. It was a moment of epiphany. The world's fastest-growing economic force had virtually no presence online. That blank screen sparked an idea in Jack's mind. If China wasn't on the internet, someone needed to put it there, and he would be the one to do it. Soon after, he launched China Pages, a digital directory intended to help Chinese businesses establish a presence online. But the idea was ahead of its time, and the venture struggled. Government restrictions, limited internet access, and lack of understanding among businesses made progress difficult. Although China Pages didn't succeed commercially, it taught Jack two invaluable lessons: timing matters, and China was going to need a bridge to the online world. Chapter 4. Alibaba's Birth, the 18 Friends and a Vision. By 1999, Jack Ma was ready to try again. In his small apartment in Hangzhou, he gathered 17 close friends and former students. With infectious energy, he shared his vision: to build a global online marketplace that would empower small businesses across China to connect with the world. The team was skeptical, but Jack's conviction was contagious. That day, Alibaba was born. Named for its universal recognition and the magic of open sesame, Alibaba aimed to open the gates of global commerce to Chinese entrepreneurs. But the road ahead was steep. The team had little experience in technology and even less money. Early on, Jack circulated his now famous winter preparation memo, warning the team to brace for a harsh and uncertain future. The company operated without profit for years, often struggling to make ends meet. Then, a breakthrough came. In 2000, Japanese investor Masayoshi Son of SoftBank believed in Jack's vision and invested $20 million, later increased to $25 million. It was a lifeline and a vote of confidence that gave Alibaba room to breathe, grow, and dream bigger. With resilience, vision, and the power of belief, Jack Ma and his friends were no longer just dreamers in a Hangzhou apartment. They were builders of what would become one of the most influential tech empires in the world. Chapter 5: Battling Giants, Taobao vs. eBay. By 2003, Jack Ma had set his sights on a new frontier: consumer e-commerce. The Chinese market was ripe for an online marketplace where individuals could buy and sell goods. But there was a powerful rival already in the game: eBay. The American tech giant had entered China by acquiring EachNet, quickly becoming the dominant player. Most believed Jack had little chance. But Jack saw what eBay didn't. Chinese consumers had different needs and expectations. He launched Taobao, a platform designed specifically for them: colorful, friendly, and free to use. While eBay charged listing fees, Taobao didn't. It welcomed small sellers, localized its interface, and built a community. Yet, the biggest challenge was trust. Most Chinese consumers were wary of paying strangers online. Jack's solution was revolutionary: Alipay. It held a buyer's money in escrow until they received their product, creating a layer of trust that didn't exist before. Critics said it was risky and even illegal, but Jack pushed forward. "If someone has to go to jail for Alipay," he famously said, "let it be me." Taobao's growth exploded. By 2006, eBay had effectively retreated from China. A homegrown platform had beaten a global giant, and Jack Ma had proven that understanding your own market could be more powerful than scale. Chapter 6: Global Ambitions, a record-breaking IPO. Jack Ma's vision wasn't limited to China. By the early 2010s, Alibaba Group had become a sprawling ecosystem, with platforms in e-commerce, payment, logistics, and more. But in 2014, the company took a bold step that stunned the world. It went public on the New York Stock Exchange. Raising $25 billion, Alibaba's IPO became the largest in history at the time. Investors around the globe rushed to buy shares in a company they barely understood but were eager to believe in. Jack Ma, once an English teacher making $12 a month, now stood on Wall Street, ringing the opening bell in front of the world. With the new capital, Alibaba rapidly expanded its reach. It invested in cloud computing with Alibaba Cloud, grew its logistics network with Cainiao, and delved into cutting-edge artificial intelligence to personalize shopping and improve business efficiency. Alibaba wasn't just an e-commerce platform anymore, it was a technology powerhouse. Jack Ma's ambitions had grown global, but his mission remained deeply rooted: to make it easy to do business anywhere, especially for small enterprises often overlooked by traditional systems. Chapter 7: The Philanthropist, Education, and Beyond. In September 2019, Jack Ma stepped down as executive chairman of Alibaba, marking the end of an era. And like many tech moguls who cling to power, Jack chose a different path. He announced he would dedicate himself to philanthropy, focusing especially on education, his lifelong passion. He believed the future lay not just in business, but in empowering people, especially those often left behind. Through the Jack Ma Foundation, he launched ambitious programs to improve rural education in China, offering funding, training, and recognition to under-resourced schools and teachers. Jack traveled to remote villages, not just as a donor, but as an advocate for those children he saw as the next generation of innovators and dreamers. His mission didn't stop at China's borders. He launched the African Entrepreneur Prize, a $10 million initiative to support African entrepreneurs, believing that Africa's young population and untapped potential could shape the global economy. His foundation also engaged in disaster relief, pandemic aid, and climate initiatives, quietly but consistently working behind the scenes to make an impact. Jack Ma's departure from Alibaba wasn't a retreat, it was a pivot. From business titan to global philanthropist, he now sought to uplift people with knowledge, opportunity, and vision. Chapter 8: Legacy and Lessons, the Unconventional Leader. Jack Ma was never a typical CEO. He often joked, "MBA graduates are not useful," favoring intuition, empathy, and street smarts over polished resumes. He believed that people should lead with heart and creativity, not just spreadsheets. His leadership style was quirky, informal, and full of optimism even in crisis. At Alibaba, he encouraged a culture of fun, resilience, and relentless learning. The lessons he leaves behind are simple but powerful. Persistence. He failed repeatedly in exams, in job interviews, in early ventures, but never gave up. Adaptability. He had no tech background, yet built one of the world's largest tech companies. Thinking big. From a humble apartment in Hangzhou, he dreamed of global commerce and made it real. Jack Ma's story reminds us that greatness doesn't come from privilege or perfection. It comes from vision, courage, and the refusal to quit when the world says no. His legacy isn't just Alibaba, it's the millions of small business owners he empowered, the students he inspired, and the belief he spread: if you keep going, something beautiful might just happen.